Hello, this is Alex, welcome to Boomstick Gaming, and my guide for what I would consider to be the best upgrades to work towards in Darksiders Genesis. There are two vendors in the game that allow you to spend your hard-earned souls and coins, but not all the upgrades they offer are created equal, so you might want to focus on getting some of my suggestions as soon as possible. Late in the game, you will be able to obtain all of these eventually, so don't fret if you've already went on a spending spree. Hopefully all of the following tips will boost your Demon Slaughter and Apocalypse prowess, so now let's get to it. One of the best upgrades for War is Enhancement Chain 1 and 2, which allows him to do his sword enhancement attacks with much greater results. If you finish off your fast or strong attack combos with an enhancement attack, mapped to Y on an Xbox controller in this case, this will result in a powered up version of whatever enhancement element your sword is in. Since larger enemies can easily interrupt you, I find it better to go for this with the somewhat shorter length strong attack combo string, but if you prefer mashing out faster attacks, keep an eye out for when War slams his sword into the ground to switch over and hit that enhancement attack button to properly utilize this upgrade. There is a really interesting 3-element synergy for Strife that allows him to easily top off your health potion reserves. If you purchase the Potion Health Overflow upgrade from Vulgrim, you can gain back a charge of your health potions by collecting enough extra health orbs. Although this is already somewhat helpful on its own, there are a few creature cores that allows for Strife's caltrops to become an overflowing garden of these little health items. First off, you need to have the Stinger creature core equipped, which when ranked up allows for each caltrop to turn into multiple health orbs when detonated, which also gives you a couple extra caltrops when thrown as well. Next, the Molten Hound is not completely necessary, but does allow you to throw down even more of these little traps, and also gives a slight gravitational pull on nearby enemies. With all of these combined, if you need to top off your health or restock a potion, just go nuts with spreading these all around. Another really great upgrade to get for War that boosts the effectiveness of his enhancement attacks is Flipsaw Rank 2. With this, when you perform an aerial strong attack, you will spin and slam down into the ground, yielding an explosion of whatever enhancement element your sword is in. Although these are not as strong as what you would get from pulling off a standard enhancement chain combo, these are the quickest way to fire off your enhancement effects. This is a really great way to finish off aerial combos, and also just plain satisfying. For Strife, this is more of a nice passive DPS boost since you will likely be dodging most attacks since that is his primary defensive tool. Evade counter 1 and 2 will spawn a clone of Strife after dodging with perfect timing, which is a pretty generous window, and these clones will not only distract enemies but also chip away at their health. This can turn oncoming attacks against themselves, and if you also invest in the evade combo, which allows for subsequent dashing, you can really start to make the most of this and inflict a decent amount of damage without even having to hit the attack button. One of the most important upgrades in the entire game that negates you ever having to manually use a potion, the Vessel of Undying. This can be purchased fairly early from Vulgrim, but you will need to save up for its fairly high price point. Once this is bought, your potions will automatically trigger when you receive fatal damage, acting now more like a traditional live system. There is a short cooldown on your potions, so it's definitely still possible to completely die even if you have charges left, so if one horseman goes down, just play it safe for a few seconds until they become active again. For War, if you find yourself using the block button much, you might want to invest in the block counter and vengeance. With these, if you time a block correctly, it will perform a parry, allowing for a pretty potent counterattack. The input window is fairly generous on this, and it's a great way to stay right up in the mix, which allows for War to excel at what he does best. One of the most effective boss creature cores to help with general survivability, which you will likely need for taking on the apocalyptic difficulty, is the Legion Shieldbearer. Once it gets to rank 3, it will create a bubble shield that can absorb up to 20% of your max health and comes back every 45 seconds, which is a huge boost to your overall health pool. If you're looking to farm up the Legion Shieldbearer to get this core to rank 3, you can find him in the rank 14 arena right at the very end. Another option is to try your luck with the Creature Core Pack Red Waste Rare, allowing you to try to level this one up a little easier if you can spare the souls. Strife has many different ammo types that he can use, but my absolute favorite has to be the Static Shock. This chains lightning to nearby enemies and also doesn't deplete your ammo resource as rapidly as you would think. If you find yourself using Strife's guns quite frequently, I highly recommend picking this upgrade up as soon as possible. Those were what I would consider to be the most important upgrades you can get in Darksiders Genesis, outside of some of the secret upgrades tucked away in some of the main story levels. Let me know which of these you thought were the most helpful, or if you have some other upgrades and creature cores that you prefer, let me know as well, and I will highlight the best suggestions down in the comments to further help everybody out. If you happen to enjoy my style of informative gaming content, consider subscribing to Boomstick Gaming, clicking that little bell icon if you already are, and you can also find me on Twitter at BoomstickAlex. Lastly, a special mention to these top YouTube members and patrons who help to support this individually owned and operated channel. As always, this has been Alex from Boomstick Gaming, and thanks for watching.